Hello, this is Jenny Kassan here to lay down the law about creative capital raising strategies for mission-driven businesses and also just the ecosystem for funding the businesses that we care about. So I wanted to let you know, if you haven't heard, we are hosting a book study. So I wrote a book called Raise Capital on Your Own Terms. It's been a couple years since it came out, but it's still incredibly relevant today. It's not outdated at this point. And we decided to run a book study this summer. So it starts on June 10th. So the last day to sign up is June 9th. And it's a pay what you can. So we have a minimum investment, but it's pretty low. And we just ask you to pay whatever you can to join. We want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. So I thought it might be helpful to just quickly go through the 6 steps of my book, which are the six things that we're going to be going through on the book study. So we're going to devote one call to each of the 6 steps in the book. So step 1 is really, really important to do before you even start to think about raising money, and we call that getting clear on your goals and values. So that's a lot of different things. That's everything from figuring out how much you have to raise to be able to take your business to the next level, what you want your relationship with investors to be, what you see as the long-term future of your business. What are some non-negotiables for you? Like maybe you take a month off every summer and that's a non-negotiable for you. So you definitely want to make sure you raise money in a way that allows you to keep doing that. So that's a really intense chapter. It's kind of a short chapter, but there's a lot of work to do to get really clear on what's important to you, and also what your goals are for your business before you even start thinking about raising money. So we'll go through that. Then step 2 is figuring out who your ideal investors are and where to find them. So we'll talk about how to, kind of figure out who should you be targeting as potential investors, and we'll really kind of think outside the box when it comes to figuring out who your ideal investors might be. Then step 3 is designing your offering for investors. So that's where you figure out exactly what is it that investors are getting when they invest in your business. So an investment means they're getting some kind of financial return, but we have to think about, what exactly does that look like? So does that look like a debt investment? Does that look like an equity investment? Is it a convertible instrument? How do investors get paid? How do you deal with making sure investors, are able to exit from their investment if they need to without you being forced to sell your business before you're ready? So really designing the detailed structure of what it is you're offering to investors. So you'll have a term sheet that you could show to investors so they understand what they would be getting. Step 4 is your legal compliance strategy. So anytime you raise money from investors, you do need to know how you're dealing with legal compliance. Whether you like it or not, raising money from investors is a highly regulated activity, both by state and federal regulators. So you want to just make sure you choose the strategy that works best for you based on the types of investors you're going to be looking for, where they are, what kinds of minimums you want to set for your investors, all of that. Whether you want to publicly advertise. So we can help you find a compliance strategy that fits your goals, but you do need to pick one. Step 5 is your investor enrollment strategy. And that is the way that you actually bring on investors and get them to say yes. So what do you show them to get their interest? What do you say to them in the meeting? What do you show them in the meeting? What do you show them after the meeting? How do you follow up? So just how do you actually bring investors on and get them to say yes and deal with all the mechanics of bringing on investors? And then step 6 is what we call addressing obstacles head on. And what we mean by that is that sometimes you, as you're raising money, if you've never done it before, it can bring up a lot of issues like old stuff that you haven't thought about in a long time consciously, like your beliefs about money, your beliefs about rich people, your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about your business. It can trigger all kinds of stuff. So we have some tools that we can help you put in place so that if those things do come up for you when you're raising money, you have a plan of action to address them. Because we have seen people get kind of sidelined when they don't prepare for that, because it's really, really common. The good news is if you do prepare for it, it becomes a huge growth experience to address it as you're going. So those are the 6 steps we're going to be going over in the book study. And like I said, if you sign up by tomorrow at midnight, you will also get that bonus where you can talk directly to outside the box investors. And yeah, I really want to encourage you to check it out. I will put the link for the book study in the comment section, and feel free to reach out through a direct message if you have any questions about it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.